Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm going to be showing you what Taliyah can do after the buffs. For those of you who aren't familiar with what the buffs are, it made her passive easier to use. It's if you've been within a wall within the past 2.5 seconds, you can maintain it, so it's way easier to go from wall to wall or out in the open and keep it up. The next thing is her Q now does AoE damage, and if you Q from worked ground, it's basically better than queuing from non-worked ground. The reason that is because the damage, when you take into account the cooldown is 50% less and how high the base damage is, it's literally more damage, plus it's a slow. So better base damage when you consider half cooldown, and it's a huge slow, which is super valuable for landing your other skill shots. Next up, her W no longer does damage. Don't worry about that though, because she has plenty of damage. And her E is also a stun if they dash through it or if you W them through it. So don't stress yourself out with not queuing on top of your worked ground. You'll be doing just as much or more damage if you do. Only reason why I'm kiting this is to reduce damage I take, since this is a melee camp. I don't want to get absolutely blasted. Now we're going to get our E, since W does 0 damage on its own. Once you're level 3 on Taliyah, your clears get a lot better. We'll kite it down this way. And now it's just going to die. Beautiful. Up against a Viego. Our team's super AP heavy. Looks like Timo already died somehow. And since our Qs do AoE damage now, we can take Raptors very easily on Taliyah. AoE damage is very nice for Raptor camp in particular, which used to be the camp she struggled with the most in her first clear. So we're gonna lead in with a Q, E. We're gonna take the whole camp back, and it stuns as well. So you have two forms of CC on Taliyah: your W knock, and if you knock them through your E, or if they dash through your E, they will become stunned as well against monsters and champions. Super nice to have. It's a 2-second stun against monsters. It can get up to 2 seconds against champions, but it doesn't start there. We'll go ahead and just do a full clear. Might as well. Taliyah's full clear is very healthy and pretty easy to do now, honestly. Even if you muff it up like I did there. I'm gonna launch those back. We should be finishing full HP, still have a refill. And finishing around the same time a Master Yi would, which is pretty solid since we're a ranged jungler. Yep, we finished 325-ish, same as a Master Yi. Now we can push out for a Scuttle Crab fight. Or just go for a top gank. Viego got blinded. That's not going to be good for him. He gets stunned. I'm going to launch these Qs on Yone and get a Dark Harvest stack out of him. Down he goes. Well played by the teammate. I just want him to get these last hits, but he's struggling a little bit. I'll even smite the cannon in a show of good faith. Timo is missing a lot of mana, and he just got a lot of gold, so he needs to back and spend his gold. For those of you wondering, why are you pushing the wave? There's usually a comment or two if I don't specify. So it looks like he did actually get Scuttle Crab there. Kind of sucks. He might go for bot Scuttle and leave his blue buff up. Seems Timo's happy with me for pushing that, so he seems to understand. And your E no longer does damage once it explodes, like once it finishes. Your E only does damage initially, damage and slows initially, and then if you launch them through it, or if they jump or dash through it, they'll take some damage as well and be stunned. Those are the main changes on Taliyah. AoE Q, W doesn't do damage. Single target Q is honestly kind of OP because the half cooldown plus lower mana cost plus it's slow. So AoE Q, your single Q when you're on work ground is OP. You also consume work ground if you Q on top of it now. W does no damage. E is now also a stun. I think Taliyah's in a really good spot now. Looks like he took my Gromp. That's wild. My E's on cooldown. I'm hesitant to even gank this without my E. It'll be up here in a moment. Just trying to get them off my Samir there with my W. Nice, and we get a double. Trying to set this up for her. Nice, I think she's getting those. Whew, we got a lot of KP. Viego's going into my jungle. Just being really aggressive with that. Scuttle just ended, so it looks like I can cross over as well. Very easy to do with her passive. The way they changed it, it's super easy for it not to fall off. Get that beautiful stun. That's why I say Taliyah's clear now. Once you're level 3 is so healthy. You can stun the camps. You have ridiculous AoE damage on your E and Q. I'm gonna break this. Probably just grab my blue buff. Soraka and 𝐒𝐿𝐂𝐈 are playing heavy for Viego's jungle right now. Launch it back into the stun. It hasn't even autoed us yet, and it's missing half its health. Incredible. Yeah, I think Taliyah is going to definitely get nerfed. You guys should play her while you can. High elo and pro play, she's going to be cancer strong. Thank you, Viego. Appreciate it. You just got slowed by my big rock as well. Yeah, he's so doomed here. He almost got away there, kinda. Go with the wall. I missed my launch back, unfortunately, but I should be able to get red buff, which is pretty sweet. Get that half cooldown, lower mana cost. They're definitely gonna have to nerf her Q when she does it off of worked ground. The fact that it's legit better to do it that way is wild. There's no real downside. I ran the numbers because the reduced damage per consecutive hits on her Q. When you take into account the 50% reduced cooldown, using Q off of worked ground is more cost efficient in every way. Damage output, mana cost, and getting a slow. Her Q is not supposed to slow, but it does when it's off of worked ground. Very nutty in the buddy. Goodbye, Soraka. Goodbye, Zeri. So if the Olaf buffs took Olaf from a 4 to a 7 or 8, I think the Taliyah buffs took her from... It's hard to rate where it took her from, because if you're super high elo, she was actually solid. But if you're low elo, she's basically unplayable because she was too hard. But now she's easy. So for low elo, she was probably like a 4. And now for low elo players, she's probably like a 9 or a 10. I'd say she's a good version of Evelynn. She's a mobile mage who has 2 forms of CC, giga long range, and high mobility off of her passive and R, which is incredible because passive mobility is huge. That's mobility you can access even before you're 6, even before any items. It's just really nice to have. You can access it even if all your abilities are on cooldown. Super, super valuable. Cue him off the work ground here. Scuttle Crab's coming up. That's probably where Viego's at right now. We should probably back. We'll stun him out. Threading the needle a little bit on that. Just trying to avoid the small ones. Since they were so far away from the big one, it would have been a waste. Normal Q's costing me 75 mana right now, but if I do it off the work ground, it's only 20. Oh, Timo's actually going to give it to me. What a nice guy. I don't think 𝐒𝐿𝐂𝐈 has flash, so he's kind of just dead here. Yeah, you can choose which side of the wall you jump off on. To ride the wall, make sure you press it twice. You have to double tap it. If you only press your R once, you'll only shoot out the wall. So press it twice to ride, and then click on which side of the wall you want to flop off of, and it will take you there. Oh, I'm dead. Oh yeah, I'm a goner. Oh, I gave them so much shutdown gold there. At least I kind of had to back anyway, so it's not the end of the world. Just kind of sucks to die that way. We'll go ahead and pick up a Dark Seal. Second item rush on Taliyah. I think Cosmic Drive is really where it's at. The extra tankiness keeps you alive. You could go Shadow Flame. I'm feeling Cosmic though. I think it's worth when you're ahead. They're both really good items when you're ahead because Shadow Flame, you'll basically be doing true damage. With Cosmic, you'll be so mobile that they won't be able to land very clean hits on you. They'll just nick you a bit. And since that's kind of what I want, because I want to play Mesh. I'm pretty far ahead. I have 90% KP on my team. Can easily float to this other side. Oh, I got a little bit of damage on her. I didn't even use my Everfrost. Yep, Everfrosted. She can't get out of the queue. Down she goes. Beautiful. Feels bad for her, but boy does it feel good for us. Everfrost is definitely your best mythic on Taliyah jungle. On Taliyah mid, it's probably not, because a lot of your... If your matchup outranges Everfrost, then it's going to be kind of useless. But on Taliyah jungle, since everything's a gank, they're trying to get away from you. Oh, I missed. Shoot. Oh, press R, Lux. That's a kill. She got his flash at least. Scuttle Crab's coming up. I don't know where Viego is. It makes me a little nervous. Got him. In midair, we got our E down. We W'd into E. In ganks, I generally recommend E then W, since your E slows them. It makes it way easier to land your W. Sometimes you don't have the range, since your W outranges your E. Sometimes you have to go within a raw W. It is what it is. Sometimes you have to go in raw. Confirmed. Oh, she just jumped over. Flip her back. Down she goes. Insane damage. Try to leave this wave for her. I wasn't trying to take the two backline minions, but my Q absolutely chunked. I'll be going for that here in a second. I want blue buff real quick though. We could dig dragon really fast. Oh, Yon's here. My bot lane should have it. They're not behind or anything. Should be dragon. Oh, that was a bad smite on my part. Oof. Flip him into my rocks. And my Q kills Zeri. Beautiful. 𝐒𝐿𝐂𝐂 is still full HP. I missed my attack so hard there. Oh no! Soraka, why are you there, dude? I completely with W even though I knew exactly where 𝐒𝐿𝐂𝐂 was. That's a huge oof. Would have 100% been dead. I would have had the extra damage from E. And would have had the stun on him as well. That's some big oof. Oof arena right there. It happens, it happens. We'll play Drag Soul. Our comp doesn't... Like, we have champions that scale on our comp, but our comp in a team fight I don't think is legitimately good. We don't have a true front line. But neither do they. Like, Yo and Viego aren't true engagers. They're kind of secondary engagers. Maybe our late game's fine in this case. they had a Malfighter Ornn, I think we'd be screwed. A proper tank to just eat all of my rocks. That would be really frustrating. I like how low your Q cooldown is to where you can Q and you're queuing before your first Q even ends. I don't know what they were thinking with that. You can basically have 2 Qs going at once. Just a constant stream of garbage. I think he saw me. Oh, nicked him a bit. Good to go, bot. Zeri can jump over my wall, but Soraka can't. Double tap to hop on, jump off. Now we gotta turn off our R. Nearly got the kill on her. Let's have her shove the wave. I'll leech a bit of XP. I should have ever frosted. Why didn't I ever frost? Was she out of my range? Ooh, look at that damage. Got her with the blue smite. I can't get in range for anything, dude. There we go. Samira pops off. Beautiful. Their whole team's dead. That's a clean ace. Yeah, Taliyah's insane. I haven't seen her mid, really, and I haven't played her mid yet. But I'll say as a jungler, she's S tier, man. She is S tier. Olaf, he's somewhere in low B tier. He's somewhere in B tier, maybe low A tier. But Taliyah, she's freaking insane, dude. Let's take a look at the graphs. Champ's absolute nuts. Looking at damage dealt to enemy champions, we had the most in the game. Very happy with that. And this is the value we got out of our runes. If you enjoyed this Taliyah jungle gameplay commentary guide / update video on her after the buffs, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. My name is 𝐒𝐿𝐂𝐋𝐒. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.